Hey, Broken Arrow, it is Wednesday. I hope your day is going well. One of my pastor friends has a house way out in the country. And we were at his place one evening when the sky was totally clear and you could see hundreds of stars in the sky. Those of us who live in the city or in the suburbs, we rarely get to see that many stars. But every time I get a chance to really see the stars shine, I'm amazed at God's creation. In the book of Philippians, one of the letters that Paul wrote while he was in prison, Paul writes this to the Christians in Philippi in Philippians 2:14-17. He says, "Do everything without grumbling or arguing, so that you may become blameless and pure, children of God without fault in a warped and crooked generation. Then you will shine among them like stars in the sky, as you hold firmly to the word of life. And then I will be able to boast on the day of Christ that I did not run or labor in vain." As Paul sat in his jail cell awaiting almost certain death, he must have pondered the question, what is my legacy? Have I accomplished what God called me to do and be? Paul hadn't built any buildings. He hadn't accumulated any material resources to speak of. As far as we know, he had no children. His whole life was spent telling people about Jesus, calling them to be saved, sharing the gospel. That was his race. That was his labor. And in this passage, he's telling the people that he loved there in Philippi that he wants them to shine like stars. And what do they need to do? Don't grumble. Don't argue. Now, times like the ones we are living in seem tailor-made for grumbling. All the things we can't do. Times like this seem tailor-made for arguing. Our country seems as divided as it has ever been, at least in some of our lifetimes. So what's Paul asking us to do? He says, don't grumble, don't argue. We might say, well, that's easy for you to say, Paul. Well, no, not really. Remember, Paul is in jail, chained up, awaiting probable death. And he says, don't complain, don't grumble, don't argue. Because how we treat one another, even in a difficult, especially in a difficult, awful time, will reveal who we really are and who we really belong to. As servants of Jesus, we are called to be different. We are called to shine. I hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great week. Remember, God is good all the time.